share with you a couple of videos I came across to show you how they use TB for mind control and how to control and to form your opinions.
Founder of Netflix. People are aware that Netflix is a vessel for mass psychological warfare. The co-founder of Netflix, Mark Randolph, is the great-nephew of Edward Bernays. Edward Bernays is known as the father of propaganda, and Edward Bernays himself is the nephew of Sigmund Freud, who's known as the father of psychoanalysis. So Bernays took his understanding of Freudian psychology and applied it to mass communication and manipulation of the collective unconscious. He worked for both the CIA and the military in the realm of psychological operations. And in 1928, Bernays wrote a book titled Propaganda. 5 years prior, he wrote a book titled Crystallizing Public Opinion. The cherry on top, though, is Bernays' involvement with the Vatican. Cardinal Francis Spellman, the Archbishop of New York, sent Bernays to the Vatican to learn and study the Jesuits' methods of mental programming. This visit took place in 1957. The same year, the papal bull Miranda Porcis was issued, which publicly commands all Roman Catholics to seize as much control of media as possible, whether that be through television, movies, or news outlets. For a little more context on Jesuit involvement in programming through entertainment, the Hollywood Production Code was written by Jesuit priest Daniel Lord S.J., and the Jesuits have been producing theatrical work since the time of their inception, and even helped write the works of Shakespeare through Sir Toby Matthew, who was a close friend of Francis Bacon and the Rosicrucians. So we know these guys have an affinity for programming through media. Ignoring the connection between their founder and the father of propaganda, Edward Bernays, let's examine Netflix a little further. The wife of Mark Randolph and the former CEO of Netflix was Jesuit trained at 2 different private Jesuit institutions. Other Netflix executives are also Jesuit indoctrinated, while others like Suzanne Rice and Logan Jackson are Rhodes Scholars. The Cecil Rhodes Scholarship Program is to funnel the brightest young minds to Oxford and indoctrinate them into globalist alliance. It was stated by Cecil Rhodes at the time of his death in his will that he wanted to create a secret society that was modeled after the Jesuit order.
Let's go over a few examples of movie studio symbolism, starting with Touchstone Pictures. This could be perceived a couple ways. It could be symbolic to the Western Wall, or maybe the symbolic reference is to the Black Stone. Either way, it's symbolism. Touchstone, a standard or criterion by which something is judged or recognized. And we know it's symbolism because you can see the hand touching the stone. Or how about Universal Studios being universal, having an image of the earth, but then displaying the words into Saturn symbolism. Coincidentally, the black cube reference with Touchstone has significance to Saturn. Or how about the undeniable fallen angel symbolism with Paramount Pictures displaying the fallen stars in Mount Hermon, which is all referenced in the Book of Enoch. It's definitely symbolism. Or how about DreamWorks showing what seems to be as above, so below symbolism, and to have a guy fishing off the moon of all things and calling it DreamWorks, all in association with entertainment. I wish more people were able to grasp the depth of this type of symbolism. Another one that's pretty wild to have an association with entertainment, because Lionsgate is in reference to a portal. Are they letting you know what you hear and you see is like a portal? My answer to that is yes.
of Us est sortie. La saison 2 de la série post-apocalyptique The Last of Us est sortie. Mais oubliez les zombies, parce que c'est une épidémie de non-binaires. Première scène, Ellie a une nouvelle copine. 2 épisodes plus tard, elle devient papa.
I'm gonna be a dad.
Oui, papa.
Suck my dick.
Un gars critique leurs bisous.
Hey,
Sorry.
in a church.
Il se fait exploser. Pedro Pascal, elle lui dit qu'elle n'a pas besoin de lui.
I don't need your fucking help.
Pas besoin de père, pas besoin d'homme. Juste un monde queer, sans genre, sans repère. Et c'est pas un hasard. L'actrice est non-binaire dans la vraie vie. La sœur de Pedro Pascal est trans. Et lui est gay. Donc c'est pas une série, c'est une directive, un modèle à suivre. Tu veux survivre ? Change de genre, rejette tes parents, et comme ça tu seras immunisé.
I'm immune. I can't get infected.
Donc ici on n'a pas affaire à de la fiction, mais à de la programmation.
I have to tell you that they are not after your children, right? My boys were downstairs eating breakfast, watching Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, right? Luckily they went upstairs before this scene came on, but I let the movie just keep on playing as I was cleaning down here. And as you see, LGBTQA, you got the trans flag up there, you got pride awareness, you got a rainbow, another rainbow. Down here it says lesbian, it's hard to see, but that says lesbian. And this is a kid's movie. It says family and kids, kids and family. That's what it says, right? They're in a school, mind you. These people right here are in a school. That's already weird. But to have all this displayed in a children's movie is just weird. Why would you do that? I'll tell you why. It's because they want to indoctrinate your children. They want this kind of stuff normalized. Am I shocked by this? No. Will my children be watching that movie again? Absolutely not. Parents, especially Christian parents, it is very important that you monitor what your children watch because the enemy is after them. Stay vigilant. God bless and have a wonderful day.
This is just too funny. This lady is here. And then there she is. and this man is here. Where is he? He's here. And then he's here as well. So my favourite one is this lady who's in front of Tao, who is behind Tao, but just doing the same face. They're quite literally doing the same face. I don't understand. Why didn't they change their costumes? At least take off the accessories, man. Like, what is... What?
By one of the... Congratulations. You've been played, duped, hoodwinked by one of the most insidious lies ever sold to the public. The stoic warrior, the noble savage, the vanishing race. These myths were not organic. They were manufactured, pushed into the public consciousness by a network of elites who needed indigenous erasure to be complete. Edward Curtis wasn't just some well-meaning photographer trying to preserve Native American culture. He was a weapon of mass deception. His work was instrumental in crafting the myth of the vanishing Indian. His staged, manipulated depictions of indigenous people rewired history, embedding a false image into the public psyche, one that still clouds the truth today. His magnum opus, The North American Indian, was a 20-volume series with over 40,000 photographs, and you'll never guess who it was funded by.